to look at more in depth when it actually happens, because that's not till next Friday. So, if that is the case, without further ado, let's see if my memory hole fills itself in, because it's yeah. Our band of adventurers, the God's Headache, had arrived at the town of Frostbreath, seeking answers in regards to Nemesis's patron. Through various discussions, some information was given. However, more would be required in order to get the answer of what god her guide is a part of. So you made a deal with Oja. There seemed to have been an old ship in the ice floes, only known of this because of a white dragon that had carried a part of it off several weeks or months ago. You ventured into the first part of the ice floes, dealing with its hospitable environment and various wildlife that scavenge around the area. Until eventually, you stumbled upon the remains of the vessel, surrounded by what you assume is what's left of its crew. Through a hard-fought battle, you're able to defeat the crew and obtain several coffers full of gold and silver and platinum. You found a unique halberd and a small stone, which, after a bit of time, seemingly bound itself to Nemesis's hand. Deciding this information that you've gotten to be sufficient, you begin to make your journey back to the town of Frostbreath. And that is where we left off. So, God's Headache, what's your plan on returning back to Frostbreath?
Walk.
Well, somehow we gotta figure out how to haul all this fucking gold and jewels and silver all the way over these fucking ice floes.
We have bags of holding.
Aye, bags of holding, hell day. Yeah, that's a good plan.
That
And
can
I
carry quite a lot with magic and myself.
Besides, don't ignore the weight of coins.
Everyone remember what your coin purse looks like.
Just keep the money in your coin purse and say that you put it in the back of holding. Dear God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy solution.
But I'm not in the game. What the hell?
the elegant solution. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So.
Is there a way to follow our tracks back in case we get lost?
So this is where we find out how things go on this one. So, I need. So again, like on the journey to the ship, it's another set of skill challenges. So go ahead, and whoever wants to volunteer for the first roll, go ahead.
Can I use survival to try to see if I can find our old footprints?
The dirt child. Speak.
Oh no, yeah, Dirt Child is all yours, actually.
Well, let's see what he says first and foremost.
Yeah.
Speak to us, dirt child. What wisdom do you hold?
Speak to me, warrior.
Okay, you can decide which one of you decides to roll.
I mean, he's a ranger, so he can dive headfirst into it.
He gonna range the shit out of it.
Ranger, how do you range?
Okay. So there has been very light snowfall over the night, but not to the point where your tracks are fully obscured. Thankfully, you are able to follow the path most of the way. You do see that there are a few signs of other footprints, somewhat fresher than your own. But for the next few hours, you travel without incident. So who wants to do the next roll to try and get an idea of, making their way back?
Would we be able to tell what these?
I'll do.
Okay. Okay.
So what kind of roll are you doing, Delson?
Okay. Can I do an investigation check to see if I can find our... Oh, I did not mean to click on it yet.
Well, you're too late. You already did it. So what are you investigating?
I just wanted to investigate, the flow of water, see if I could find the little area we had to jump over to cross.
Okay. So where you grew up is much more is much warmer. So snow and ice is not a very common thing. However, you know from your travel from Naza to Ansor, you study a little bit in regards to the nature of the currents and such. This is a little bit unknown to you, but you're fairly confident the path which you go through sort of passes by, maybe not exactly, but roughly the same place where you had crossed the day prior. Okay, that is 2 successes. I need someone to make one more roll then to see if they can get the final success. Any volunteers?
I could just try to lead the way, using athletics. That's the closest thing I have that could be useful. Trying to find a good path, but it's not really athletics. It's a survival, right? So,
okay, so athletics. So you're basically trying to brute force through the terrain.
Yeah, just sort of get everybody marching.
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
The sort of discipline side of things like that.
18. Okay. So because of the brute force method, it does take a bit longer. And in fact, everyone else make an athletics check here.
Okay.
Shit. I'm not good at this.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. Fortune, athletics. I don't think he's here, so
Anna.
I'll just roll for her.
Actually, my athletics is an 18 as well. No, 17. Sorry.
I'll just roll Fortune.
I think I've got remarkable athlete, which half dexterity bonus. Yeah. See, that's 17.
Oh, they all rolled pretty good. You're all able to keep pace with Valith. However, Delson, your stamina doesn't appear to be as effective as everyone else, so you do get a point of exhaustion.
Dang it.
However, you made the 3 successes. So as the sun is sort of going past the afternoon, starting to descend into the evening, you do spot the mountains that flank Frostbreath. By the time the sun begins to properly dip, you have made it back to the town of Frostbreath.
Whoa, frost breath. What time is it again?
Hazard a guess, it's maybe 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Like, evening has just sort of taken hold at this point.
So we went past Oja?
No. Oja's hut is like the last building between Frostbreath and the ice flows. You just kind of like you stepped off the ice flows and you're now on the solid ground.
Okay. Got it. Perhaps the rest of you should go back to town. I can meet you there.
All right.
Yeah.
Make sure to take all things.
Let's see, what do we have? I mean, the money, but we aren't going to really give that away. We have this orb and the book and the glaive.
Yeah, the glaive. I said
The
how-
orb, the
And,
book, and the glaive.
But yeah. Hey, OJ, good news. You found something cool. Bad news. It's grafted onto my hand.
Yeah.
Alright. So, the rest of you head into Frostbreath, into the inn then?
Yeah, get
Yep.
some dinner. It's cold.
Okay.
Dinner and some slip.
Alright. That's the case. Nemesis, you head to Oja's house and just sort of like knock on the door. You hear the sound of movement. You hear like the clang clang of a pot and such. You just hear like you hear something said in Draconic. As the door sort
Okay.
of opens up a bit, and you see the sort of like squinting out into the ever-coming gloom of Oja, and just sees like, you. So like opens the door and lets you in.
Are you alright? As Nem, like, looks around as she walks in.
The place looks a little bit messier in the sense that you can see there's a lot of parchment on like the table and such. You can see like a large cooking pot that's got sort of like steam coming out of it. And you can see like another pot that's sort of just, you know, down on the side there, like near the stove it's got. Yeah, just cooking myself something. That's all.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you during dinner time.
It's fine. Would you like some? It's fish stew.
Alright.
like-
Nem doesn't look too pleased, but...
He sort of like walks over and he grabs a bowl and just watches, just like dips the bowl into the pot itself. And then walks over to the table. You see he sort of like brushes some of the parchment away and just places it down before he quickly goes and grabs himself his own like bowl.
Just politely sit down, wait for him to join.
Yeah, so he quickly joins you. He sort of like shifts some more of the parchment away. Some of it falls over. He's like,
Not very organized, are you?
I don't have a lot of space here, you can see.
Nem nods.
So, how did it go?
It was a mixed result.
So like grabs a small sort of like ledger, so like flips it open. Glancing at it, it's all in Draconic. So it's difficult for you, so you can't really understand much of it. You do see the odd words in common here, but the majority of it's Draconic. It just like flicks through to a blank page, so like takes a quill and inkwell from the other side of the table and just sort of like puts his just looks at you, just waiting to hear.
Well, there was a collection of undead there. Different types, really, and she'll go on to start explaining the kind of undead there and the captain that seemed to be fairly sentient.
He's just you see him sort of like write and do a few diagrams based on what you've described and such. Undead remaining at an old ship. And you say this came from Arazar, yes?
Yes, and we know this because, and she will take out the book.
He sort of like, he's sort of like almost like snatches it out, but he just like stops himself and just sort of like puts his hand over to, basically indicate you to hand it to him.
She will give it to him.
Yeah, and he sort of like starts looking through it. The occasional time he like sort of looks over to the inkwell. This goes on for several minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Until like he gets near the end of it and gives a slight chuckle. It's like closes it. Tomb robbers, of course.
I think I may have found what was in that tomb as well.
Did you know?
There's a bit of a problem, though.
That is.
And Nem will hold her hand out and turn it over.
So like looks at it for a second. Hold on a second. Just like reaches, so like goes back on a few more bits. Alright. That explains quite a bit. So like places the journal down. You can see there's a diagram of a similarly visual like shaped stone with a gem in the middle. What you got there is called a Hajar stone. It's used in rituals, or it was, for the old pharaohs back then.
Alright, and what does that mean? This isn't going to, like, cost anything, right?
No, because Hajar stones are very difficult to get a hold of. As far as I'm aware, there's only 2 of them in Ansor, not including that one you got there.
Right. No, just looks down at her hand.
The fact that... One second. He sort of like holds onto your hand and such, and just sort of like... You seem to take like a different like quill and just like start poking on the stone. You don't feel anything, but you do hear the impact of it. So like... Right? Okay. So he looks up at you for a second. It's like, I didn't know that they could do that.
Oh! Great.
Mostly because we can't get our hands on the Hajar stone. They're both held by Jurhan.
Jurahan?
Uh,
Do I know this?
Make a history check.
History.
20. Just looking at it does look a bit familiar. However, the one that you sort of, like as you recall, you remember seeing, it wasn't just the stone itself, it was actually a part of the sarcophagus that it was a part of. You know, it wasn't a case of the stone was removed, just part of the sarcophagus was like chiseled out and brought back.
Where would I have seen this? In like a museum?
Yeah, in one of the museums in Jurhan.
Okay. And was it the same color? Would I recall?
It was, but
Okay.
as I say, like from what it looked like, the way the sarcophagus is designed is in a way that the stone fits so perfectly in, it almost looks like it was, chiseled in there directly as opposed to, something that can be put in.
Yep, got it. Okay. I mean, I vaguely remember seeing it, but it hadn't occurred to me that was what it was at the time.
Yeah, see, I'd ask if I could have it, but, So, like, indicates to your hand again.
It's kind of stuck there.
It might be possible
You
to...
can have it if I get it out.
That's probably going to be painful.
Would it be possible to get it analyzed?
Yeah, but not by me. Give me a sec, my dogs are being gossy.
Yep. Great. I love it.
You what?
I love this.
Pain.
Which hand is it in?
Right? Like, this is how Nem uses her left hand.
But is she left-handed?
Yes.
She is left-handed.
Oh, sugar. Okay.
We found this out last session.
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah. That's not good.
Okay, he's back. They always get...
Welcome back.
One of them gets arsey wet and one of them goes in the bed until you go down in time to get in the other bed, and he does.
Fair enough.
Okay, so it says, you could, just not here. Unfortunately, I'm not really much in the arcane or the religious stuff. This is might be more religious based than anything, since it's used for, used for rituals involving people passing away. Your peach was just on BRB for a second there. Or maybe someone's speaking. Someone's probably speaking. Hello.
I'm currently on my phone because my internet just fucking died.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So, don't mind me. Let's continue on.
Okay. Yeah, so as I just said to you, well, you're probably gonna have to look elsewhere. No one here is skilled in analyzing that kind of stuff.
Alright, then who would be? Is it part of your, group?
No. What I think that might be, and this is just based on what we know ourselves, it's meant to protect, like, the Pharaoh of, whoever is bound to that Hajar Stone. If you know anything about how they were very big on the idea of cursing people. Considering you can't get that off, might be a curse.
Curse. Right. Lovely. Going back to the Pharaoh thing for a minute, you said that it responds to whoever is the Pharaoh or whatever?
From what little we know, I mean, whenever... And for the record, this isn't costing anything, because this is, if you go to a museum, you can sort and pay attention, they explain it, especially if you go to Arizar. Yeah, normally when Pharaoh died, they would commission, or when they were approaching death, they would commission a Hajar Stone. And then when they would, they would do the ritual for it so that they'd be protected, in the afterlife, and then they would die and the Hajar Stone would remain in their resting place.
Right, and this one did not remain in the resting place, and I'm assuming attached to my hand, thinking that I was a robber.
Possibly I.
Okay, then what does that Do you have any more insight as to what that could do?
That's the difficult part here. Again, Hajar stones are rare outside of Arazar, and even then they're not super common. As far as I'm aware, based on what I've heard in Jurhan, you're the first one to have one actually bound to you. But,
Okay.
it involves undead and such, and protection from death. I wouldn't trust it, if you ask me.
Do you think I might turn into one of those things?
I have no idea, lass.
Right. Alright, then do you have some insight as to who might be able to help me?
You'd probably need a cleric. Closest one I can think of is at Tiamat's Breath. It's a volcano a little bit far away from here. That's actually one of the places I was gonna suggest, with your whole guide thing. I did some looking up on various things, so that might be your best bet, because they have the Order of the Dragons there.
Do I know what the Order of the Dragons are?
Make a religion check.
It's like her kind of people.
Musk. Great.
Not again.
Woo! I don't.
I will hit Fortune with yesterday's newspaper if he tries again.
Alright. Hopefully my internet works now.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. So that is a disgusting 7.
7. You're not too sure. You're more familiar with, the Johanian gods.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have a whole lot of information.
Alright. So, just to give a quick recap. This is something used for pharaohs to guard their tomb. It's embedded in my hand now, and I'm apparently the first account that you have ever heard of having this happen. I might be cursed, and I should look for a cleric, possibly at, you said Tiamat's Breath?
Yeah, it's right. He sort of pulls out a map, and you can sort of see if you open up the Johanian map, you can see there's just to the west of Bahamut's Eye, you can see what looks like a a mountain with a dip in it next to Copper Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he sort of indicates there. Maybe your best bet if you want to get a cleric.
Our cleric's not particularly common here.
Not in Frostbreath, no. You seen the size of our town?
Fair point.
We do have a quote-unquote cleric, but he's not very good. He's
trying his best.
He's good enough to, heal the injured and such, but if that is a curse, then, you're fucked when it comes to getting help.
Can he cast Hero's Feast?
Right, okay. Then, I suppose for now, there's nothing that we can particularly do about this situation.
No, but that is more weight for the answer that you were seeking than I was expecting.
Really? She looks kind of hopeful.
You've got a Hajar stone. In fact, I'd say that we'd owe you a bit more if we can get that Hajar stone out of your hand.
I'll figure something out. For now.
Right, so the patron of your guide. Quiet,
Mhm.
keeps in the shadows and such. That gives you a handful of options. I decided to check a little bit more in regards to how it might help here, but you got a handful of gods that are involved sort of being in the shadow. There's Jolan, who's the literal patron of darkness. Skalan, the god of trickery, tends to maybe do a handful of jokes in the dark as well. Not so much in the dark, but, you know. Umberlee, she is literally the Lady of Twilight. The Moonweaver and her children. If you want to look a bit darker, you got Cicero, the Jester of Death, and Kashyyyk, the Searcher of Dark Knowledge, who is Orion's sister. As is Orion himself. He works involving knowledge and secrets. And the last one, involving darkness and everything, would be the Raven Queen. You look at further gods, are a little bit I'm a little bit limited on that one. The only one I was able to find really involving with shadows and secrecy is the elf god Erevan.
Right. Okay. Can you please put that in like a list for me?
I was writing a list. I spent all of them wrong. I know I have, but it's
I will just copy and paste from my notes.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck do you spell half of these? Thank you so much.
Hey, I got Cicero. That's quite good.
So
Okay.
he gives you a few minutes to write this down in your own journal and such.
Okay. Umberlee, Weaver, Cicero. Okay.
Now I can imagine what your
I
next
think I got
question.
it.
Now I know what your next question is probably going to be. Where exactly can you find these lot? Normally I would say no, but again, the fact that you found a Hajar stone, I'm more than happy to tell you. But here's a rope. None of the Jahanians have any of those gods as their main ones. Some like Kashyyyk and Cicero are outright illegal, and if you can believe it, I don't even know where the Citadel of Orion is. It is literally the closest guarded secret of the Seekers. Not all's lost, though. More often than not. Some of the places in Juran like to share, if you know the particular history behind them. For example, Bright Spark and Shallan, the patron of light, patron of darkness, their brother and sister. But how you get them to open up a bit more with that kind of stuff is, that's a bit of your own business there to figure out. I know Umberlee and the Moonweaver are often together, though they don't have much Johanian presence. Skalan might be a bit more towards Galero, given how they can be sometimes if you haven't been there. As for the others, you got me. From what I can tell, the Raven Queen isn't worshipped much in Ansar, and as I say, Cicero and Kashyyyk worship is flat out banned.
Alright. So, I've gotten a list of possible answers, and now I have to scour everything to try and actually find them.
Well, hopefully that narrows your search down a bit.
I mean, considering that there's a whole pantheon, this does help. I think I may have some ideas. But thank you.
It's what I could do for a fellow seeker, shall we say. 1 second. He sort of like quickly takes some parchment and begins like sort of like writing a long letter, again in Draconic. Before he like, puts some sand over it to dry it, rolls it up and hands it to you. Pass it to the Order of the Dragons. They're aware of us seekers. So consider that whatever service they do to help with your little problem there, consider that as a bit of payment.
Right then. Thank you. And then we'll take the letter.
Also, if you want to give me that once you got it back, you can leave with the order. They'll send it to me.
Right. Okay, I will keep that in mind then. Me as the player, just like, no, I want to keep this curse. Do you mind if I finish my food? I think it would be rude if I just left.
Of course. Sorry, it might have gone a bit cold during the... Yeah, it's definitely gone a bit cold.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's very much lukewarm now.
I wonder if I could Wrathful Smite it to make it warm. I won't do that.
Smite the soap.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and fucking eat that up. If you guys would like to do anything in the meantime.
Yeah, what are you going to do while this conversation is taking place?
Sleep.
I was thinking of starting a barbecue in the middle of town with the fucking hydrogen bomb I was carrying.
The what?
Do you want some help with that?
No, I was joking on her using Thunderous Smite to heat up a bowl of soup. I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
I don't know what there's to do. I think I'll just be I'd probably just be chilling in the tavern, waiting to leave, waiting for them to get back.
Okay, all right. So Frost Breath Ale, you're able to get from the tavern itself. It's 3 silver a bottle.
Nice. Okay, can I? Yeah, I will. Guess I'll have a bottle of it, and we'll try some of the Frost Breath Ale.
Okay. The Frost Breath Ale. Initially, it doesn't seem to affect you much until you realise it's because you're freezing cold, and the Frost Breath Ale is freezing cold.
Nice. Okay.
But then eventually
Can
you
I
start to
you
warm up.
taste it?
Yeah, it's a very sweet, so like blueberry flavor. But like as you warm up and you like drink more of it and you breathe out, like you can see your own breath from it.
Lovely that. Can I go over to the bar?
Yeah.
So like hey, do you mind if I ask you a quick question, mate?
All right. Yeah. The bartender who's a white scale dragonborn, so he goes up. Yes.
Do you make this stuff in house?
Aye.
Okay, because I'm guessing you don't sell much of this outside of Frost Breath.
Yeah, we get some traders that buy a couple of it. Yeah.
Okay, because I represent one of the great dwarven clans back down south, and it would be frankly a bit of an honour to be able to sell this sort of stuff down south.
Well, you
I was wondering if we could, strike up some kind of deal to get like some casks of the stuff brought back down south into one of my associates.
I mean, like indicates to the inn. We're not exactly one for big production.
I suppose.
I mean, if you bring
Anyway,
traders here, we're more than happy to, sell, but if you're expecting us to start, filling out orders and all that, we're gonna need more people, more building places.
Aye. I'm gonna think about it because again, you don't get anything near this kind of stuff down south at all.
I can imagine.
I think it might sell well. Right. If I ever tell you what, if I ever come into any kind of money or any kind of finances, I might kick back a couple of gold your way to help pick up production. You know.
I mean, alright. Ain't seen much demand in this stuff, but alright.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get, people looking at the product when you're at the edge of the world.
True, I guess.
Alright. How much have you got in surplus at the moment?
We've only got, well, including what that one, points of aggression, your points of aggression is, has, we've only got about 6 bottles left.
Yeah, it's a shame. Alright. Tell you what, how hard is it to make the stuff?
It depends on what aspect are you talking about. Ingredients, the actual brewing.
Well, all of it. Well, like let's see if I was able to, because I've got breweries as well. If I was able to, be able to make this stuff down back home, I'd start selling it, and around, let's say, like 50-60% of the profits I'd make off the selling of the drink, I'd kick back up here. You think that could work?
I mean, the trick of it is from one brewer to another, because I know it's something that's going to be pretty impossible for you, no offense. But the secret is, sort of like, taps his, points to himself. And as he sort of like breathes out, you can see sort of like mist come out of his mouth. So pretty hard to brew this stuff. If you're thinking on that side of thing. Ingredients, it's easy. You just gotta get some of the local herbs, local fruits and such, some alcohol, yeast extract, all that stuff. But the real trick comes from me.
What? Because you use your God's given gift to super freeze it then?
Aye. Maybe it's a bit more than just breathing on it, but you know.
Okay, I get it. Well. Well, can I tell you what? I'll buy. It's a shame because I'm guessing they don't stay cold for long, do they?
No, they stay cold for a while.
Aye, but like long enough to send back down, like get a couple of 100 miles back down southwards. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, so long as you don't, leave them out in the sun, they're good for a couple of months before they start to cool down.
Okay. Oh yeah, well, I'll buy about 4 bottles off you.
Alright, that's 1 gold, 2 silver then.
Alright. Yeah, I just put down the money.
And he takes it, he quickly goes into the back room, has a few minutes before he comes back with the 4 bottles and just places them down.
Thank you very much, mate.
Aye.
You silly fucker, Edward. I never added a mountain of money from last session into my character sheet. Hello. Yeah, I'll quickly, I guess, put them in my bag and instantly, get frostbit buttocks or whatever.
It's very cold. Like you can sort of feel them through, through the fabric, which is surprising because your backpack's made of rather like thick leather.
Yeah, fucking hell, they're cold. I'm basically carrying around like straw, like blueberry flavored liquid nitrogen, right?
Essentially.
Nice. Oh, you know, yeah. And I that should be enough to maybe gauge opinion, but yeah, I'll if there seems to be some kind of a market, a bit of a taste for this sort of stuff, I'll let him know where I got him from.
All right. Just goes back to cleaning the the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if nothing else is going on then, eventually, Nemesis, you join the rest of the party.
Whoa. Great. What's everyone doing right now?
For what you can see, it looks like some of them may be like napping, or eating, or just drinking.
I'm still up on the roof.
I will join the ones that are eating right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a spot of dinner. Yeah.
Trothnar.
All right, lass.
Well,
Let's see.
No,
like go on, lass.
I guess I got a mix of good and bad news.
Look, have you eaten? There's a good little a little fresh and mussel stew here. It's quite good.
I ate. More out of the sake of politeness, but I ate.
Fair enough. And so I see. Are you trying to hide your hand?
She has her other hand just kind of over it.
And I just sort of just like glanced down at your like overlapping hands, and I just go, did he manage to play it off?
Nope, it's still there. He said that it would be kind of difficult to get off, just naturally. Painful, even.
As painful as losing the hand, or?
Well, it's a possibility, yes.
And you are left-handed, aren't you?
I feel like you should know this naturally after spending, 6, 7, 8 months with me?
No, fair enough. But I can't find my own asshole most days.
Must you be so vulgar?
It's part of me charm, lass.
Charm. Right. And she's gonna take a bit of your food anyways.
Okay. It's the fish and mussel stew I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back. What I miss?
Nothing.
Nem and Trothnar are currently talking. We have to go to something called the Order of the Dragons, or whatever.
Do I recognise that name?
Make a religion check.
I would love to. And I have. Okay, this should be fun. 3, 2, 1. Bible camp. Oh.
You've never heard of this Order of Dragons?
I'm trained in religion. Could I just like overhear this while you're talking? I'm just like we're sitting at a table nearby, I think, aren't we?
Okay. Well, I mean, we're not like whispering or like I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Make a religion check.
Sure. Only because I'm trained.
20. You don't know much of it, but you have heard of it. It's more common in the north, in the Kingdom of Dragon Great Worm. simply because of the fact that it is, as the name suggests, it's like it's an old order that equally worships Tiamat and Bahamut, whereas Draconic and Great Worm, separated on which one they prefer to worship. But you don't know much else about it.
Yeah, I just sort of getting hit with a paper football in my face. And after hearing that, I recall that basic information that I have about it, just that they're
they
worship both.
they're not particularly unknown, but obviously, given how far north they are, it's not really talking about a whole lot.
Heard it in a passing story.
What? And then just looks at Valette.
I've heard about it. Not much. I know it's somewhere around here.
How friendly are they to outsiders?
Well, considering they worship both their gods and the two nations of dragons are at war, I'd say you'd think they'd be open.
Right, the Dragonborn god, lad.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I have a recommendation of sorts.
I'm sure they'd be hospitable.
I know where it's located too. And then we'll take out the map and point to like the little marking that she made for it.
Yep.
It's
Is there a
right
picture of
over
a
here.
volcano on the map?
You said it was by Copper Hall, right? I'm going to assume it's like this little cave mountain looking thing.
Yeah, so you see to the left of Copper Hall, you've got sort of like that one mountain that sort of like dips inwards.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Yeah, that is a volcano known as Tiamat's Breath.
I think it would work out if we well, I had kind of planned this originally because Delson said that he was interested in castles, I suppose. I thought we could go down to Bahamut's Eye and inspect that and then maybe go over to the Order of the Dragons. Yes? No?
I like that idea, yes.
Yeah, that'll work. Did Oja, did he say how urgent it is to get that thing off you?
He barely knew anything about it other than basic history. Apparently, it's usually meant to protect kings, dead kings, and I am the first case he's ever heard of it being embedded in someone.
Right.
I don't know how it's going to affect me.
So what, it's some sort of like prank jewel, you know, you gotta pry it off some sort of casket and it gets stuck to your hand forevermore?
I'm assuming that this is usually meant for grave robbers, and because I held it in my hand, the stone mistook it as such. The people that it comes from tend to be big fans of curses. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen to me.
Well, I mean, there's always a chance that a curse can be lifted, isn't it?
Well, yes, there are such things as, remove curse spells. But I think that also depends on the power of the curse.
And if it's to protect some king from some far-flung land, I'm guessing it's pretty fucking powerful indeed.
We'll see.
Have you figured out what it even does, or is it just like annoying?
Would you like to see what it does?
What sort of face are you pulling?
Nem is just like, she looks like she's gone through this before and Trothnar watched it happen, so that's a dumbass question.
Yeah, remember this happened last week.
Yeah, I know,
Or
but I
2
wasn't
weeks
sure
ago.
if I didn't know if I like knew it happened or it was just fucking Delson fell over in the snow. I'm not sure if Trothnar would be aware that like those two things were connected in a weird way.
Right now I feel like I can take more of a beating, if that makes sense. I can also suck the life out of someone.
Well, I mean, you could do that before, but just metaphorically, couldn't you?
I want to touch him with vampiric touch.
Okay. Unless Trothnar lets it happen, you gotta do a roll.
Because he's completely not expecting it, and I think it would be funny, do it. Just do it.
Okay, so it's essentially... I mean, technically it'd be advantage, but since Ed is so adamant of it, go ahead and just roll the damage.
Okay. Do.
Okay, so Trothnar, you take 22 points of necrotic damage, and Nemesis, you, if you're not at full health, heal 11 hit points.
Woo! I took 1 point of damage from cutting my hand open.
You see Trothnar basically, you see Trothnar basically just go completely white as a sheet, and just collapse backwards off the bench.
Yeah, and Trothnar, you yourself, like, she sort of, like, reached over and, like, grabbed your arm, and you felt like, oh, that's her, and then you just felt, like, a chunk of your warmth, and even, like, almost like a chunk of yourself get pulled away from you.
Yeah.
Still think it's funny, Mr. Ha-Ha Man.
You made your point.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right. Get that fucking thing off your hand.
Oh no, I think I quite like it.
Give me the seat, will ya? Fucking hungry.
She's gonna take his food and walk away.
And literally, and then like essentially, using like the handle of this hammer, like using it essentially as like a makeshift sort of. He's like still like lying on the ground, but he's sort of like
cane.
He's sort of like dragging it along the ground to like get him purchased, and like, hey, you fucking bitch! I paid good money for that.
Cry me a river.
Eventually, your strength does come back to you, but it's like, whatever that was, you didn't like it one bit.
Yeah. Hey guys, do you want to know how many hit points I have?
How many?
2.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And that wasn't even a max damage one either.
Yeah, you almost almost legitimately killed me.
That's what I live for.
Thankfully, Vampiric Touch is not if the target hit 0, they die.
Yeah.
You would have just...
Like some spells.
Yeah, like Finger of Death and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But what a power move would it have been if Nemesis just fucking disintegrated Trothnar right then and there?
That would have been fucking amazing if that's how Trothnar got killed off.
Would have been crazy.
He made one dumb joke and just turned to ashes.
And then we know what happened. You just put your hand on it, and then Trothnar would go, Nemesis, I don't feel so good.
Oh my god. There's gonna be a lot of Thanos jokes, I'm sensing.
Well, no, because it isn't Disintegrate. We'll see what happens when you eventually fight a spellcaster with Disintegrate, but you know.
Aww.
Anyway.
Alright, I'm gonna go. I'm assuming that we got a room here. I can't remember. If we didn't, I'll pay for it.
Yeah, you
But I'm gonna go eat Trothnar's food in my room and just kind of like, you know what? I'll actually study my book on like Infernal and the 7 hells, or the 9 hells. I should correct.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, well, I'm going to go and be in my room and study the blade. I don't know why.
Yeah, the 7 hells are something entirely different. Hello, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
7 hells.
And it was all chickens.
Once I get myself to my feet, still using my hammer as a cane, but now upright, I will go over to the bar or wherever the pot of stew is and get myself another bowl. Eat it like a man who hasn't seen food in about a month.
Are you like flicking your microphone like up and down or something?
I don't know. Possibly. Who knows?
Okay then. So, no one else is doing anything, then you rest up in a nice warm bed.
Woo!
Nemesis, for some reason sleep doesn't come to you.
Oh no.
You still get the effects of a long rest,
Uh-huh.
but as you just sort of like lie there with your eyes closed, you don't drop off. It's almost like the in the real world where you're like there, you don't feel at all like you're sleeping, and you're fairly sure you haven't slept at all, but then when you open your eyes, you're not tired at all.
That's
Boy, oh
concerning.
boy. Okay. That's bizarre. Is Fortune sleeping next to me?
I would assume so.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything to her yet. I'm not gonna say anything.
It's really key that Velith has now got an insomnia buddy.
Oh no, I think Valve got rid of his can never go to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you still sleep? Wait, do you sleep now?
Yeah, he sleeps now.
He sleeps
okay.
now.
Then I'm just gonna, like, go and hang out until everyone else wakes up. Kind of chew on that.
What? Just hang out in an empty pub and for like 4 in the morning.
I mean, I can, like, study stuff while I'm doing this.
Yeah, you still... With the whole sleeping, it's similar to, like, Valith or a Warforged or an Elf.
Yeah.
You need to spend several hours doing just light activity. But yeah, you still get the effects of a full rest. It's just you are unable to sleep for some reason.
Nemesis eye bags are gonna be awful. That's the takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
I love that that's what you took away from this.
Yep.
That would be like mine!
No, the curse of Steve Buscemi eyes.
So I will wait for everyone until they like get up and everything and have breakfast or whatever.
Okay.
And take Childner's breakfast too.
Drothner just doesn't get to eat anymore.
No food for you.
Not gonna lie, but the idea of like trying to picture a thin Trothnar is like it's like my mind just went like you have performed an illegal action and will shut down. But yeah, I guess I get up, head downstairs, and see and grab a bit of water and some brekkie. Yeah.
Brekkie.
Did you? Is
Your
Sure.
British is showing.
I'm English. I'm allowed to say stupid things.
is that actually a saying there?
It's slang. It's British slang for breakfast.
It's more of a thing in Australia, though.
He sounds so defeated. I'll eventually head down.
Southern bastard by the time, that's why.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm getting my popcorn.
You just hear like, oh yeah, this is good D&D, I need my fucking popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get mine too. Got a massive ass bag of it.
I don't have that, but I do have a bag of worthless originals.
I'm gonna use my skill in mime to pretend I've got a bag of popcorn.
Wait,
So,
because we slept, does that
Silent.
mean my exhaustion's gone?
Your what, Scott?
My exhaustion?
Yes.
Yeah. You slept. Alright. So, I told Valeth and Trothnar a bit about the plan, but you all should be informed too. Essentially, what's going to happen is that, Delson, I noticed that you took kind of an interest in Bahamut's Eye.
Yes, and apparently there's also one near Copper Hall.
Was it Copper Hall?
There was a castle. There was an old
I'm
castle.
asking Tom to confirm.
So from what he was told, there is a castle near Copperhall. You don't know if it's the same
Okay.
one that you were referred to, or where the Order of the Dragons might be.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Okay.
Tiamat's Breath is near Copperhall.
Yeah. Alright, that's convenient then. Is there any other castles that you know about currently?
There is. Actually, I need to look at the note because it's somewhere in here.
I remember that there's one by Yol.
Yeah, you were
Can't
told.
remember where the last one
You were
is.
told Renclaw had one, Rabasra had one, Bahamut's Eye is one. There's one near Copperhall, and there's one near Wormfire.
Quick, write that down, sweetie.
Yeah, I didn't get the.
Fuck. Give me the list.
I didn't get the Rabastra and other ones.
Yeah, so when you asked in regards to are the castles here, and Oja told you because it's a more common knowledge thing. It was a case of I only know the ones in Draw. There's one, technically it's a fort in Renclaw. Rabasra obviously has a castle. Bahamut's Eye is an abandoned castle. There's a castle near Copperhall, and there's one from when Wormfire was originally further up the mountain.
Yes, thank you very much. It's fun being described.
So there's also one near Wormfire. We all know that Rabastra definitely is one too. What? And there's apparently one near Renclaw?
Alright. And she starts marking down these places on the map. Well, I need to go to a place called Tiamat's Breath. It's near Copper Hall. So, why don't we go to... Let's go to Bahamut's Eye, and then Copperhall and Tiamat's Breath, go down to Wormfire, and then pass through the Carapace to Basra.
Yeah, I'm just watching her trace this on the map.
Yeah. She's just drawing it out right now.
Did I put the... Yes, I did. There you go.
So go
Yay.
to Basra, and then, if I recall, we need to go to... where was that place? With Grafra, where he's from.
Oh shit.
Where was that place again?
That was the kid we brought to Breath, eh?
No, it was his commander.
Oh, fuck.
Thomas!
I was just watching you all squirm. theoretically.
I'm just
Rabasra.
going back through the campaign now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was. He wanted you to speak with, I believe it was his quartermaster or his commander in Rabasra.
Yeah, in Rabasra,
Yep.
there's a golden commander, the golden dragonborn, who's a commander of the military there, called Dasku. We're to find her and tell her that Gafra is sorry for deserting.
Yep, okay. Alright, and then after we go to Basra, we will head out via Wrenchclaw and Yule back into Jerahan. Understood?
Aye. That's a good plan.
So, how this is gonna go, now I get to draw with my shaky-ass mouse, is we are going to go down here to Bahamut's Eye, and go to Copper Hall, and then to Tiamat's Breath. Then we'll go down to Wormfire. Go around the Carabus to Rabasra. And then
in one solid trip, could we? It's a long way.
go back to Rendclaw and out.
Hey, we get stopped by the statue.
Again! Alright.
I always think Tom must be ruining the day he ever put that statue on the map at this point.
No, but
No,
maybe
decide.
maybe I
No,
should have just made
no.
it. Maybe I shouldn't have made it as big as it looks, or maybe I should have, labeled it.
Alright.
What just labelled no story or world building here, please go away.
No, I could have literally called it the Statue of the Forgotten Soldier, and that would have solved it all.
Pretty much, yeah.
This looks like a good plan, quite linear.
Fortune's just mindlessly drawing all over the map on the other side.
Katie, sweetie, please. We need this.
No.
Well, that's helpful. Alright. I think that's a good plan. How long did they say that the oil would last?
I can't remember.
For some reason, I'm hoping that they said like 2 months.
They never specified.
Can't be too.
They never specified.
Can't be
Okay,
too
when it
long.
runs out, it runs out.
So we'll probably have to make some stops in these cities, get more, just in case.
Aye. I'm sure they'll be able to get some of that at least in Copper Hall.
What makes you assume that?
Well, I mean, it's...
Mm-hmm.
If every town we come across is like the size of Frostbreath,
Mm-hmm.
all I was assuming is like chances are we're going to get that kind of resources in a Dwarven Hold.
She just stares at him. Like, does he have any actual reason to believe it?
Well, if you believe that fact, apart from the fact that dwarves are awesome and inherently better than all other races, not really.
Yeah, okay.
That wasn't
Nem
Yeah, I'm
Nem
just
just looks at him and then looks at her nails, like just thinking about like how she needs a manicure. Just like,
I'm just going to casually write down casual dwarven racism.
Alright.
So casual. Jesus. That'd be a lot of damage. That's a lot of sharp metal objects.
And Nem immediately tries to close up the map before anyone else can draw fucking graffiti on it.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
You mean what Fortune
It's
did?
quite fun to look at.
All
I
right.
missed my tablet. I could have done good drawing.
Thanks for drawing my husband, by the way.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, that is the plan all in place then. So you collect whatever equipment that you still have remaining and such, and head over to Nori's Ark.
Woo!
You can see that they've reattached the ballista, though it is not a pretty... It doesn't look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty clear that they've sort of just, like, nailed, like, a ton of wood onto various bits to hold it in place, and as you sort of approach, the rope ladder is down. You need to climb up.
Yep. Go ahead and climb up. Find the captain.
Raina.
I knew that.
Yes, that's why you called him the captain.
Yep.
The captain, bird's eye. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain.
Here comes the general.
Here comes the admiral. Now my brain's just like Admiral Ariana can't hurt you.
Admiral Anna. So,
you can kind of see like Raina sort of like sitting on a stool, so like leaning back against the ship. His face is quite dirty and such. You can tell that he's been he's been busy working. And as you sort of like approach, he like stands up. Right, welcome back.
Thank you for welcoming us back after everything.
The worst of the damage wasn't your own fault, technically.
We made a course of sorts for plans that we have here. I'd like your assessment on essentially how long it would take and what it would mean for your ship.
Alright.
And then we'll go ahead and take out the map. Please ignore the graffiti.
Ain't the first time I've seen people draw stuff on there. Latino as well. So, like, spends a minute or two just looking at the map. Right, well, for us to breath to Bahamut's Eye, we'll basically be retracking our steps, so that'd be about 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably squeeze the ship through the mountains here to shave off another 2 days there, so that would only be about 2 days to Copperhall. Depending on when we take off in Copperhall, we can probably get to that volcano there same day, though mighty against flying near a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Wormfire's going to be about a day or two. Traversing the Carapace, that's going to be the big one. You're looking at probably a week if we're lucky. And then Rabastra back to Renclaw. You're looking at about 5 days or so.
So, all in all, with some, I suppose, some leeway for the weather, about a month?
More like 2.5 weeks, if weather's on our side.
That's why I said with weather.
In a normal situation, 3 weeks to a month, aye.
Alright, do you think that the ship could handle that? Do you have enough resources?
We'll have to restock for supplies in Copperhall, and depending on how much we can get there, that'll cover us to Rabastra. The important one is if we get to Rabastra, we're fine. You know, it's a major city. It has its own skydock, I know that. So, it'll be easy enough to resupply. Hell, we could probably get some repairs going there, depending on how long you stay there.
Alright. And
Vindication.
I know that this doesn't shave off much, but if we were to just walk to the volcano ourselves, how do you figure?
That would add an extra day, probably.
And would that be good for you or bad?
I mean, we've dealt with the most critical repairs. We did an assessment on the damage that you guys did with your little joking about. No major structural damage. It's just going to look like an eyesore.
Oh, by the way, how much did that cost?
I haven't really looked at the pricing yet. I need to get a proper shipbuilder's assessment of it.
I give him 5 platinum.
Just takes it from you. Oh.
Doesn't make your platinum even.
Actually, no, I give him 6 platinum.
Takes the
Woo!
platinum. Oh, that'll help with the supplies, I guess. So, like, pockets it.
If you need more, I have a surplus right now.
We'll see. Hazard a guess it's probably only going to be... So, like, looks... just so, like, looks at the vessel again. So if we ignore the one from the attack, because that's nature of the business here, probably a few hundred. I'll get a proper, like, assessor to look on it, because we're going to need a proper shipbuilder to rebuild the damage on all of this.
Of course, just keep it in mind and I suppose create a tab of sorts.
Gotcha.
Killed by property tax. And I'll try to make sure that no more damage occurs, though.
So long as it's not damage caused by yourself, we ain't got a problem. As I say, nature of the business that the ship gets attacked every now and then. Even if we weren't in a war.
You have to worry about me. It's more... I learned my lesson. I'm not sure if some of my companions have.
Look, all I'll ask if you're gonna throw those pranks again, keep it off the ship.
Yes, right. Alright,
Are we close enough to hear that comment?
Potentially, I don't know.
Depends, where are you?
Sticking pretty close to you.
Then you would have probably heard it. He's not exactly being quiet about it.
So can I still cast
Yeah, I think that'd be...
Firebolt if I'm hanging off of the bottom of the ship?
If you're not hitting the ship, for the love of God, don't throw fire at the ship. It's made of wood. Wood burns.
Who's saying this?
Our foreman.
The captain.
No, he is now the foreman. You got it, foreman.
It's... No, it's...
Hey, never
It's
done any, like,
it's Reynard, because I keep wanting to say Reynard.
Raina.
Look, we found the foreman. That's all we need.
I will try to keep her hands tied.
I mean, obviously, if we come under attack, by all means, go nuts, because I'd much rather the ship get damaged from your attacks, but we're safe, than our ship be destroyed and we're all dead.
Oh, you don't want me to go wild? No. Tone that down a little bit.
Nem covers Fortune's mouth. Alright, so when do you think we'll be ready to set a course?
We're ready to set a course right now. As I say, the ballista's sorted. Can't aim it, but you can still fire it. And
everyone's good, everyone's healed, you know?
Yeah. A few lingering wounds here and there. You can sort of see, so I noticed he's had, like, his arms, like, you know, crossed near his stomach as he moves. You can see, like, a telltale sign of some bandages. But it's like, few lingering wounds, but nothing that's going to affect us if we have to fight again.
Alright, perhaps I can assist in healing more of your injuries as we go along.
Deal with the crew first and foremost. Mine's, it's just a bit of a flesh wound. It's nothing too severe. I've had worse. You don't spend years doing merchanting without being shanked a few times.
Shanked?
Yeah. Small dagger. Into you.
I suppose I kind of assumed that was for bandits and, prison yards.
Well, when you're a merchant, you have to deal with bandits a few times.
Right, yes, of course. Just Nem's privilege showing.
Oh, wait. We need a shank? Give me, like, 5 minutes.
No.
5 minutes and a rock. Does anybody have a rock? I have a book on how to carve things. I can do this.
Fortune.
I'm just...
No.
I'm just...
Actually, wait, Valif, come here.
I am so I am so not surprised that that Fortune has a book on how to make prison shivs. I'm so not surprised.
No, but she does have a book
He
on
learned
stone
firsthand.
carving like a dwarf, so...
That is true.
Bold of you
Also,
to assume
Valus,
she
come
did
here.
learn in prison how to make a shank.
What did you say? Yes. What did you say? Sorry, Fortune.
Valith, come here.
Yes.
Can I borrow your torso for a moment?
I suppose.
I would like to take my dagger out and stab him.
Nem is walking away from this conversation immediately.
Not stopping your girlfriend from stabbing a man, just leaving.
I use a.
If she wants to stab a man,
Okay.
she will stab a man.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, it didn't do that
Fortune.
much.
Ouch!
Why do you deal so much
Damage.
damage?
Max damage. So you take 4 points of piercing damage. And as you do that, like Nemesis walks away, Rainy just says, and with that, we're gonna just go ahead and set off on our journey. Make yourself comfortable. Let's just, and he sort of like shoves you all aside and heads to the to where the wheel is.
I'm gonna leave the knife in Valith and gently pat it against his stomach. Here you go, buddy. Keep that there. Don't want to bleed out.
Thank you, Fortune.
Okay. So, for the sake of brevity on this one, the first place you're heading to is Bahamut's Eye, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for the sake of brevity, the journey is mostly uneventful. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll to see what the weather's like on them all.
Collect them number rocks, Tom.
Okay, so in the 3 or so days that you're traveling, the weather is mostly uneventful, though you do get a period where you deal with a bit of a headwind. It doesn't cut too much into the days. It just adds some time. So as opposed to arriving at Bahamut's Eye in the afternoon, it's around the evening that you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. So you can see Bahamut's Eye at this point. Very rundown castle, seemingly empty as well, from what you can tell. What are you doing?
Well, Delson, this is your trip.
So, does anyone want to get down and do a brief look around the interior of the castle? See if there's anything interesting?
Aye, I'll come with.
Let's see what we can steal.
I think we should learn our lesson from the gem in my hand right now, that we shouldn't steal anything from whatever this is.
That's why I said see what we can steal, not actually steal.
Right.
And then just looks her dead in the eyes, like, I know what you fucking meant.
Gration,
And I
just,
love you too.
Gration, just in case there's something here, could you do us the honors? Of making us harder to see with your magics.
Actually, that's a good question. Can I divine sense anything here?
The range is 60 feet, yeah?
Yeah.
You haven't landed yet, so all you can sense is the ship.
I sense Katie.
Pretty much.
There's
yeah.
a fiend.
A very,
Just a tiny knot of
very,
anxiety.
very, like, faint, fiendish presence, which you realize is coming from Fortune.
Yeah.
Raina's just sort of like there, just like indicating, like, right, where you want me to land?
Um.
The safest place you can see.
Aye.
So like looks over.
Wait.
Well, it's either on top of the castle or away from the castle.
Why not away a bit? We can walk.
Alright.
I agree with that.
He sort of like
Aye.
turns the ship around completely, and so it goes a bit further away, and begins to land. You can see in the distance a large stone wall with an open gate. The gate is dilapidated. It is like partially askew, partially collapsed. But he lands down. And yeah, now you guys are on the ground floor. Or at the at ground level.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead and hop out.
this might not be the castle, but can't know until we give it an investigation.
Aye.
We'll keep an eye out here. If things get dicey, we'll just take off.
Aye.
That's understandable.
If it's a case of where we can still collect you, then we'll land on top of the castle.
Aye. Perfect. See you in a bit then.
Got it.
Understood. Goodbye.
Well, they're not taking off. They just said if things get dicey, they'll take
No,
off.
no, they're leaving to
Okay.
go into the tower.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, is it a tower or a castle?
Castle.
So,
There
but castles
is a
have
tower.
towers.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go into the castle to fuck around and investigate.
Yeah. So it's
Yep.
about a 10-minute walk to actually get to the castle. You do walk through, how to say, like the gateway. You assume that this used to be like part of where the part of like a barrier during like one of the older wars. But you can see that this has not been inhabited for a very long time. As I say, you can see like part of the oubliette's been like rotted away. It's sort of skewed on the side. You can see there's several broken chains littering it. It's surprising that it's standing the way it is, but eventually you pass over the threshold, and you can see the Castle of Bahamut's Eye just ahead of you.
Oh, are we stealthing now? Oh boy.
Go, Gratian, go. You know what to do.
Yeah, this was the plan.
Aye.
Alright, so pass without a trace.
Yeah. So, okay.
Activate.
So go ahead and roll stealth checks and add 10 to your roll.
Only me.
3.
Only me.
16.
The pains of being dummy thick. Okay.
Again, you get a plus 10.
Yeah.
So,
24.
Ouch. 2 16s.
16.
That's the lowest. But, pass without a trace, being pass without a trace.
Whew,
Yep.
we're gone.
So you feel stealthy. You're pretty sure that nobody can really see you. And eventually...
Our song hidden by the wind.
Oh, yeah, I could actually use that ambience, couldn't I? There we go. Okay. So, you enter into the castle. You can see that the roof has partially collapsed in several areas. It is freezing cold, and it is silent outside of the wind whistling through the various holes in the castle.
That's some ominous music.
Yeah.
It's not even ominous music.
just on
It's ominous weather.
Ominous wind.
Wait, you guys get
my only
sick.
friend.
Yeah, there's wind playing.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go. Now I can hear it.
Okay.
We might as well go look at the entrance
Okay.
to the
Yeah.
actual buildings.
Yeah. We can go to the entrance, and I'll do Divine Sense again.
Okay. You cast Divine Sense. Nothing.
I don't feel if it's been consecrated or desecrated.
Nope.
Okay, got it. Anything so far?
Can I see if there's any sort of animal tracks leading into the castle? There's any inclination that like animals have made a home and a nest inside the walls?
Sure, make a survival check.
I would love to.
Oh no. Animals are learning to open doors.
That.
24 on the 6, please.
Yep, the 24 one because it wasn't.
25, yeah.
Make an investigation check, Gratian. Okay. You don't see any traps, though. Well, you do see traps, but they can't really be considered traps as they are, meant to be like things used in the siege, but they've either been activated, either due through to use in the past, or just the gradual degeneration of the environment around them. But there's no actual like active traps. There's a lot of holes. Like the holes aren't exactly like slim. They're like parts where the walls like collapse inwards, for example. You do see a lot of like tracks that go inwards, and as you sort of go into the castle proper, there are a handful of like piles of animal waste and such here and there.
Delightful, okay.
Watch your step, it's dirty in here. May I investigate the area?
Sure, make an investigation check.
May I help her?
Sure.
Advantage?
Yep. Oh, well, I guess that doesn't matter.
Didn't fucking need it, but okay.
So what? So you're just specifically like examining the floor and everything, yeah? Just the particular.
Looking for anything out of the ordinary, something cool.
Okay. So as you spend the next hour or so exploring the remains of Bahamut's Eye, you do find a pair of swords, which initially they're sort of... It almost looks like they were covered under like what looks to be like when bears have to hibernate for the winter, they they scrape off their winter coats and such. It kind of looks like something akin to that. You do find like a couple of sets of swords. Most of them are in poor quality, but you do find about like 3 or 4 of them that are decent enough. There is signs that somebody used to live here, though judging by the state of everything, it's probably not been for months, years, maybe even. And as you sort of like climb nearer to the top, you do find the skeletal remains of what looks to be a dwarf.
Brother.
Wait, you said how many of those swords were good?
5 of them. Yeah, they're just standard short swords.
Alright, I'd like to take the short swords. I would like to take a couple of bones from the dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4? Can I take 4?
Yeah, I would say yeah. That's easy enough to do. When you sort of like look at it, and you don't even need to do a medicine check to tell that this dwarf has been dead for a very long time.
Miri gets a special treat. And I'm gonna go back to the group and dump my now 5 short swords into the bag of holding.
Okay.
Delson's bag of holding.
All right.
Do we need that junk?
Yeah, we could sell them.
To who?
We could melt them.
Can I use like the fact that trained warrior and all that sort of stuff? Would I be able to tell like if the swords are actually still any good?
Looking at them, I mean, they're a little bit. The edges are a bit dull, but for the most part, yeah, the metal seems sound and like it's been degraded much by the elements. As I say, they probably would need some maintenance to begin with, like reapplying of the grip and sharpening the blade and such. But they seem decent enough. You might be able to get a small amount of gold pieces from it.
The metal's still in good nick, basically.
Yeah, the metal's is in decent enough condition. There's any sort of impurity, any signs of it in poor quality are easy enough to fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you take it's like a car with a few dents here and there. It's like it can be sorted out, as opposed to like, no, this is a fucking write-off kind of deal.
Trothnar, are you saying that I, who have been using a short sword this entire time, do not know what a good short sword looks like?
I mean, yeah, but also Trothnar was trained in the military all his life. He was in a military order and all this sort of stuff.
While you were stealing Trothnar.
I studied the
blade.
I studied several blades, thank you.
Oh, here I thought he was just studying the warhammer and fire.
We had to be trained in all sorts,
Can I actually look around and see if there's any weird
when you're stuck in a
symbols?
deep dark hole with demons pressing down on you, you kind of have to learn to fight with whatever you got.
Okay.
$26. No symbols that you can see.
Dang. Well, that's disappointing.
Does fortune tell us about the dead wolf?
No, I just now have 12 bones in my bag.
Okay, interesting. I think, yeah, I'll start Can I start just having a look and like wandering around the castle and doing my own little investigations?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Yay! Okay. Yay. Investigation. Fuck.
You don't have much luck. You just find more bits of animal waste. You find a few bones of what you assume is animals that were hunted down here.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's clear that this place has been abandoned for a while.
Do I at least find the dwarf skeleton?
You do not.
Okay, Willies. All right. There's fuck all here. There's nothing here except the fucking cold and snow and these shite.
I mean, what were you really expecting? We're kind of looking for a needle in a haystack.
I suppose, but this place definitely isn't where your sister is. We need to keep moving. Fucking cold.
I agree with that. Definitely isn't. Definitely.
I'm surprised this place is fucking still marked on the map. There's nothing here.
I mean, it probably was very important many years ago, at the very least.
Just all on the map side. Hey.
I'm surprised that there isn't more here, though. I kind of expected maybe dilapidated history, if that makes sense.
What, you mean like notes and letters left by the defenders?
Yes, kind of like that.
Yeah. Kind of weird that there isn't anything like that in here.
It's just... It's desolate, but isn't the normal kind of desolate. It's... Usually when a place is abandoned, you find traces. This one is just empty.
What do you suspect, like, nefarious magical shite?
I don't sense anything magical here, but maybe this was left intentionally?
Probably, aye.
I'm not familiar enough with Draw's history, though.
No, I guess something... They just abandoned a big fuck of castle like this in the middle of a major route up north, like, something bad must have happened here, or just to let them abandon the place, you know.
I mean, we have seen actual dragons around here.
That's true, it might have even been picked clean.
We are definitely, you know, not the first sapient two-legged creatures to come through here.
It's quite possible we won't be the last either.
Well, they aren't going to find much here either. For now,
Unless
we
they're
should
into animal
probably
shite, aye.
return. Don't want to keep Reyna waiting.
No, let's get out of here.
Alright.
Before my fingers start freezing off, let's go.
Yep. Time to make our way back.
Woo!
Okay.
Walking fast.
So you make your way back to Nori's Ark. It's still there where you left it. You're let back on board. And Reyna just sort of like, brings the vessel back upwards. So, how'd it go?
Nothing was really there.
Doesn't surprise me too much.
We got swords.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, they're not exactly usable, but the metal's fine. Could sell them to a blacksmith back at Copperhold for a pretty penny.
Maybe.
Apart from that, no, just a lot of fucking cold and snow and animal dung, and it's been picked clean and long abandoned. Nothing's there.
Yeah, don't surprise me. I think that castle was built like 300 years ago.
Right. Do you know anything about the place, like before it was abandoned at all?
It was kind of like the central defensive point. See, I'm not too familiar with Draw's history outside of the fact that they've had a lot of wars since they split apart. There was one occasion where Draw lost the war and lost Rabasra, and that's when they built Bahamut's Eye. But then, obviously, once they took Rabasra back and reinforced it, there was no need for it anymore, so they just moved everything to Rabasra.
Aye. Still, it's a fucking great castle in the middle of quite a busy route. Well, it used to be, I suppose, but...
Aye. Most of the trade happens between Rabasra, Ringclaw, Skullkid, and Jurhan. There's not a lot of reasons to come to Frostbreath. And the southern side of Draw is a lot safer than the northern side.
Aye. So you're probably quite glad we can eventually head back south.
I mean, we'll still have weather to contend with, but at least we don't need to worry about being set upon by any defectors, I hope.
Well, we all do, lad. Well, that was a bust. How far is it to Copperhall?
Well, I'm going to try and squeeze us through some of the mountains here around the top part of the carapace, so maybe
Sure, that's a good idea, lad.
When I say squeeze, we're not talking like an arm's length between them. I just mean, if we get a particularly heavy blast that makes us lose control, then we'll be in trouble.
I don't want to be slammed into the middle of a mountain at 1 a.m, but I trust you. You know what you're doing, Reyna.
Well, we're in the summer. Weather's usually a lot better in the summer. Hell, we haven't even had to use any of the oil yet.
Let's hope we never have to.
Oh,
Right, I'm fucking freezing. I'm gonna go warm up down in the Down to the hold. Take care, man.
Alright. So, unless there's anything that you all wish to do, we'll just go ahead and go through the 2 days of travels, events that potentially happen. So let's see how fare thy weather. Where's my list?
Suddenly, we stumble across a familiar cabin. It's now in the sky for some reason.
That is the wrong dice I rolled, but it's fine.
Isn't that a Studio Ghibli film?
Castle in the Sky.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I said cabin. I was referring to the
Yeah.
one we
I know
found.
you are, I
You're
know.
referring to whatchamacallit. Okay. So the first day... yeah, you can write Laird's Fortune. So the first day is uneventful. It's clear skies. However, as you sort of like leave the top part of the carapace, a heavy snowstorm suddenly begins to impact you. To the point where, once again, as with previous times, Raina's had to basically halt the ship and sort of land it nearby. Okay. So, as you land, you're still technically in the carapace, but as you sort of like land, go ahead and somebody make a perception check. Who would be on lookouts?
I can do it.
Okay.
Because everyone knows how perceptive I am. Whew, okay. Not horrible.
18.
She put on her glasses.
Okay. So you sort of like, as you're looking out, you mostly look out to make sure that you don't clip onto something. And as you go down to help anchor down the vessel, you can see in the distance, covered quite heavily in snow, is another lodge.
Like similar to the cabin that we saw prior?
Yeah.
Is there anything particularly remarkable about it that I can see from here?
It's heavily snowed in.
Alright. I don't think it's of importance right now.
Okay. Alright.
Watch it be like this is where like someone else is snowed in and like starves to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Alright. So, you spend the night in the, what you call it, in Nori's Ark itself. The vessel is battered with the heavy snow. But, for the most part, you are able to have a night's rest, and, you have to spend a bit of time, clearing out some of the snow that's weighed the vessel down.
Yeah.
So it does cost you a day. Yeah, at this point now as well, you cannot see the lodge. It's been completely snowed in. Like, it is covered. But if that's the case, then you take off and continue onwards. Let's try it again.
Man, that poor Oregon Trail family, I bet have already gone to cannibalism.
Yep. Yep, clear skies. So you make it to Copper Hall.
Yay.
The interesting thing about Copper Hall, compared to the other places you have, where there's a distinct, like, dwarven, like, it's clear that dwarves have done something to the place, kind of deal. Like how Platinum Hold obviously has, like, has, like, the occasional bits of smoke coming up from the lava down below. Mithril Hammer's got the Mithril Gates carved partway into the land and such. This one, you just see a large cave opening. In fact, you couldn't initially tell that it was a dwarven settlement until you got closer to it and started seeing, like, the the occasional like set of guards nearby. The sun reflecting off their armor. But you land nearby, and you are now at Copper Hall.
What do I know of Copper Hall?
Not a whole lot. You know it's a small dwarven settlement, and you know that it is looked after by... I believe it is the Colbeards. Let me just double check on my big old sheet of who owns what now. Yes, the Copperbeards are basically like the only ones that look after, that rule over. I say rule; it's not huge settlement that rules over Copper Hall.
It's run by the Copperbeards.
By the Colbeards.
Okay. And I guess I don't know much about the Copperbeards apart from they run Copper Hall.
They're very small. They are one of the great clans technically, but they are like if you don't include Glowhammer, they're probably the smallest of the clans. As their name suggests, they primarily deal with like coal and such as power sources and such. So, what do you all do then?
I guess what the ship has the ship landed?
Yeah, the ship's landed at this point. It's landed a little bit away because the train's a bit too rocky for it to land nearby.
Yeah, so in that case, I guess I will. Yeah, I'll hop off the ship, and start making my way towards, I guess, the guard post in front of the cave.
Yeah. Okay. As you start making your way there, several dwarves are also coming down it's sort of like a hill that leads upwards. As you sort of get near, he says, "You there, you! You're the owner of that ship."
One of them, aye.
Right. Okay. What you doing landing near here?
We're just stopping for a restock and a rest before heading further towards the Basra.
And so stop, and it's they sort of look at each other. At this point, they're level with you. At this point, it's right, okay. Your name, please.
Chief Trothnall Glowhammer.
Yeah. They sort of all look at each other. So there's a couple of murmurings here and there. Right, Chieftain Glowhammer. Apologies. Very well. So looks over at the water there. It's just get a few people there. Just keep an eye out. You'll see over up there. So run. They sort of start heading towards the ship. Right. Okay. Apologies again. Felony, we'll keep an eye on it.
Don't pay it no mind, laddies. I'm sure you lot don't get a lot of visitors.
No, we don't. By all means, Copper Hall is thankfully free from the ravages of war, both here and south.
Aye.
Might I ask, you're not here on orders of the Slab Blades, are you?
No. What? No, I'm not. Do I know of any sort of beef between the Slab Blades and the Colbeards?
Nope.
Let's go. No. This is my own business. Nothing to do with the Slab Blades.
Right, okay. We're expecting to get some communications from General Ild. I guess it hasn't arrived yet.
If you don't mind me asking.
Ild Slabblade was one of the people at the meeting.
Yeah, I remember Ild. I remember Ild.
Yeah, she's
general
of the military.
Yeah. Let's go. If you don't mind me prying into affairs, Do you know what this correspondence was about? I can help.
We're hazarding a guess it's in order to prepare to mobilize. Apparently, there's been some discussions between the dwarfs and the Draconians. Something about if certain conditions are met, that the dwarves are going to step in the civil war, and potentially even we heard about an agreement to take part in the war against the Gilgamesh. That's something that we won't be able to help with, but this we would be able to.
Aye, and I'm from down south, Underook originally. I've been all around here, and it's messy. It's messy down there with the war and everything. It's aye, a lot of lives lost. But...
Aye, from what I've heard, but I mean, we're not too sure about this new deal. We just know about the old one. Didn't really factor much for us here. It was just we would just send some supplies down, typically coal to help out with the various machines and such that they might have.
Mm-hmm. Aye, of course. Just speaking of which, are the Coldbeards still in charge here?
Aye. Nobody really takes much claim on a small coaling settlement.
I suppose not. I mean, you guys... It's still important, though. There's not many places that, specialise in coal, to be honest.
I mean, no, but, I suppose if this was the same situation as was with NASA, about that weird, crazy Celestine stuff, maybe it would do better.
Aye, I suppose. Right, so what's the plan? Is there someone I can leave the ship, or are my friends alright?
Yeah, your friends will be perfectly fine. I sent those 3 lads over to set up a small bit of a perimeter. I won't really do much if anything big comes by, but this probably one of the safest places in Dra.
That's good. That's good to hear. We've had a few run-ins with bandits and deserters from the war between the two Dragonborn clans. So a bit of a respite here would be nice.
Aye. We've been keeping out of that one.
Aye. Do you have? They've not been kicking up fast inside the walls, have they?
The what now? Say that again. Sorry.
They've not been kicking up fast inside the settlement, have they?
Oh no. It's part of an agreement. We've got a similar agreement between Dra and Great Worm as we do with Jurhan, except not as much in our favour. Essentially, we're willing to offer supplies to to those that want to buy it, but we're not gonna actively aid in any of their fighting.
Of course. Aye.
The deal there, though, is that if anyone comes in here and they're not allowed to start shit, even if they're on opposite sides. Otherwise, they get exiled, can't come back, and all that stuff, or killed. I've had to kill a couple that been a bit too rowdy.
What? Killed? Not just like thrown in jail to call off.
Unfortunately, we've only got a certain number of jail cells here. Besides, a lot of them usually had done murder anyway, so like the populace.
Fair enough. I suppose there's no
you got a few fanatics.
Rehabilitating those lot.
You got a few fanatics here that believe that because we live in the land of Dra, we should fight for it and push back the chromatics, despite the fact that we point out we live under Dra.
Aye. Strange. Do you get any well, speaking of which, do you know anything about the Order of the Dragons, I think they're called, who live nearby? Do you know anything about them?
I mean, we get a few people coming from what do they call that volcano? Tiamat's Breath or something like that. And we get a few people coming here for supplies and such. Don't tend to deal with them a whole lot. When it comes to religion, I'm strictly a Morian as opposed to a Bahamut or Tiamat.
Aye. I was just wondering about what kind of folk they are. I'm just hoping they're not, dragonborn wardens or anything, you know.
Oh, you mean though? Like the little brother we had a century or so back. No, from what I can tell, they're rather pacifist. Though I did see one get in a bar fight once, and I don't want to be on their bad side after seeing that.
Fair enough then. All right. Thanks very much, mate. You've been a great help. I'll tell you what, and Troth and I will reach into his bag and pull out. Hold on, how much money have I got? Apart from, all the money in the world. I will pull out 10 gold pieces and say, here you go, distribute that amongst your boys here for a job well done and a nice welcome.
He takes it, just grabs one, just bites into it to make sure it's real. It's alright. So continues heading down to the ship.
And I guess, is everyone else on the ground?
I would assume so.
Yeah, we've been waiting for you as you chat up this person.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
Right. And so I basically just skirt over and go, alright, let's go find a place to stay then. And I'll proceed to make my way through the very large cavern entrance into Copper Hall.
Yeah. Gert is actually there with you. The half-orc.
Oh, nice.
As he still walks by, says, "Yeah, we need to reach stock, so it's my turn now." All right. So, you make your way into Copper Hall. Cramped is a word that you could put for this place. Clearly designed, built with the idea of dwarves living here first and foremost. So it, there is occasions where you have to the taller ones among you have to duck down a little bit to dodge the occasional low hanging rock. Other times the heads are nearly scraping the top of the ceiling. There's not a whole lot in terms of this is very much like how Frostbreath was a small Dragonborn settlement. This is a very small dwarven settlement. You do find an inn, which is simply called the Copper Kettle. And yeah, you're able to get a room there. Well, specifically, you're able to get 3 rooms at max.
I'm showing the 10.
I figured.
Alright. Yes, I'm guessing the Copper Kettle itself is small and very sort of utilitarian.
It's very much it's just been carved out from the inside of the mountain that Copper resides in.
Okay. It almost seems like a tiny underrook.
Yeah, it's much smaller, much more cramped, but yeah, you could indicate it's similar to Underrook. Though you do know that Underrook's design is more akin to typical dwarven architecture. Platinum Hold and Mithril Hammer are sort of exceptions to that.
Okay. Right, anyone got any plans for our layover here? Anyone want to go check out the market? Oh, we need to get rid of those. We need to sell off those swords, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Let's go see what they have for sale here.
Aye.
Yeah, it'd probably be
gold
good.
to spend.
It'd probably be good to look at the market.
Yeah, Gert also agrees as he's just already set off looking for a market to buy more supplies. So in terms of market, not really much of one. There's a handful of shops, handful of blacksmiths where if you're going to sell the copper swords, the blacksmiths are willing to offer 2 gold for each short sword.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so that gives you 10 gold. Yeah, like, in terms of, like, shopping for anything special or anything, you're not going to find it here. It's,
Coal.
They've got coal, and lots of it.
You got a lot of coal.
So if there's anything in particular you're looking for, then go ahead and mention it. I can say whether or not Copper Hall has it.
Place to send mail.
Books.
Somewhere I could get some scrolls of sending.
Explosions.
There is no arcane store in Copper Hall.
What I expected. Okay.
Somewhere where I could get stuff to. Somewhere where I could get stuff to make gunpowder, maybe.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
being a predominantly coal mining place, they are able to get the black powder that you might be wanting. They are willing to sell. They're happy to sell the equivalent of about 15 shots for about 20 gold.
15 shots, 20 gold. Alright, I'll give them 60.
Okay. So they give you the equivalent of 45 shots worth of black powder.
Yay.
So they don't sell any. They don't have any fun themed drinks, Gratian. They just sell ale.
Are the drinks at least served in copper kettles?
No, copper cups.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. See,
See,
that's customer appreciation.
empty books. I mean, you could probably ask around, but it's not super common for them to sell just completely empty books. Okay. There are no musical instrument shops here. Bear traps, yes, they have bear traps. Since they do need to get their food somehow.
How many can I buy and for how much?
They have about 7 of them, spare at the very least. They're willing to sell for about 25 gold each. Because it's, valuable for them.
I'll buy one.
Okay.
You said 25?
Yep. Like when you ask about the price and such, they basically explain these are the only ones we really have left.
Actually, I'll just give them an extra 18 gold.
Okay, alright. So the request of empty books is a rather weird one for them. They do have a handful of empty books that were given to them from various traders. So you could potentially buy a few empty books for about a silver each. Okay, so mark off 2 silver. So checking about with the blacksmith, they're not the size where they would be able to really make breastplates and such. At the most, you've got what's the one called?
There's not one, for your breasts.
You're saying?
No, I meant, well, Valeth has got massive pecs. He's got massive pecs, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a big buff boy.
They mostly deal with mail armor, like chainmail and such. Mostly because that, and even though it's even though it's stronger and such, the fact of the matter is that it's because they've got surplus of iron, they're able to make a few chainmails. Actually, wait one sec. Am I confusing? I might be confusing breastplate with a different kind. Let me just quickly. Compodium. Stop.
Yeah, it's not a plate, anything like that. It's not heavy armor, it's just medium.
Just me.
Yeah, chain I think is.
Let me just quickly. Because I think what I was confusing it with was. Yeah, I was confusing it with half plate. Yeah, no, they have breastplate. I just need to grab the book to remind myself how much it costs. Because even though it's like, hey, here's the items, it doesn't say the cost.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me, got it. Got the item stuff. Right off the bat. And that is the wrong way I'm going. There we go. Yeah, so breastplate would cost you 450 gold. They only have one of them at the moment.
Nice. Does it fit over my gigantic torso?
They might need to spend a few hours, like, you know, reshaping the leather and such, but yeah, if you're willing to give it an hour or so.
Excellent. I would like a breastplate. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I will
now have breastplate armor.
One more AC. And I'll just like sell on my chain shirt as well.
Okay. They're willing to bring the price down to 250 if you sell them the chain, because it's a chain shirt, or is it? I thought it was
Chain shirt. I have a chain shirt right now, and I'm just upgrading to breastplate, which is just one extra AC, and nothing else really changes.
Oh right, okay, so that would be.
And
Okay,
so it's
they
normally
would reduce it down to 400 then. My mistake. I thought it was something different in exchange
Works
for
for me.
giving. Yeah. Just double check, just make sure. Chain shirt. Yep, that matches. Okay, yeah. So you swap out your chain shirt for a breastplate. Right. So is there anything else anyone's doing?
Can I get more information about the castle that's around here?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Okay, come on, world's greatest detective powers.
Okay.
There we go.
Because Copper Hall is like the main place of resupply for the Order of Dragons, they tend to know a lot more about it. The castle is sort of embedded partially into the volcano itself, and even though it's a castle, it's more been converted into a monastery more than anything else. Its access is mostly prohibited, as Tiamat's breath is considered a sacred place for both Dra and Great Worm. So people haven't been able to go into it, barring like the first couple of rooms. It's rather barren, and it's sort of it's rather barren, and it's sort of the Order of the Dragons themselves sort of like have a training area on the outside of it, sort of like near some of the lava flows and everything, because there is active like lava flows coming around the monastery and such, sort of used as some added protection for them in the event of an attack. But despite that, like I say, they're rather secretive and tend to they don't allow full access to the castle beyond those that are, you know, in the order.
Got it. Thank you. Information.
Okay. Alright, if that's the case then, you spend the next night just resting in Copper Hall. The beds aren't the best, but you know, for the size of the town, they're decent enough. But eventually, you finish up resting for the day. So are you walking to the Order of Dragons' castle, or are you taking the airship?
How far away is it to walk?
To walk, it would take you a day's travel.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure we could use the exercise.
Right? Get our horses out. They've been cramped up.
All right.
Bring my magical sparkly out.
Okay. So, at this point, like, Gert's already gone back to the ship and such. You're getting everything, sorted out. Raina speaks over and says, "Right, so, what do you want us to do then? Sit tight for you to come back? Or..."
For the time being, yes. I think you'll be fine. You're right next to the city.
Yeah.
City.
Might continue doing a bit more repair work. These, nothing against Draw, but these guys are smiths, so maybe they'll be able to, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get some new bearings on for this ballista.
Embassy will give a nod in agreement.
Right, so see you in 2 days then.
That's right, yes. And take care of Milo. We're not going to take him with us.
Fair enough.
Although I do want to give him a platinum. Have fun while we're gone, too.
On the job, Fortune. But he still pockets it.
Alright, we'll go ahead and get our horses and cart out.
Yeah.
I have sugar cubes for my baby.
This one's relatively easy because you're low to the ground. You're not having to have it dropped down.
Yay!
For the most part, actually, your horse and such are able to just jump off, without taking any damage. The cart is lowered down via a few ropes, but that's again easy enough. But you get the horse and such saddled up, and you head off to the west.
Woohoo!
Don't mind me just mentally trying to remember which direction you're going, because I keep confusing east and west.
We can grab the map. It's okay.
Well, no, it's the fact that I always keep confusing west for east for some reason.
Yeah, we're going
You're going
southwest,
Damn
okay.
it.
Well, the Bahamut's Tiamat's breath is literally straight west, cup hole. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and someone make a perception check for me.
I'll go ahead and do it.
Every time we look at a map, I'm actually relieved we're not a real adventuring party because it's concerning.
Okay, alright. Thankfully, I didn't get a fail on the encounter thing, so
Yay.
your journey is mostly uneventful. However, near to the end of it, you notice that in this snowy area, the snow begins to vanish, and there's just volcanic rock around you. Strong smell of sulfur starts to fill the air around you. As you sort of crest over a larger part, you can see now the foot of Tiamat's breath. You actually was able to see it in the distance, with the constant billowing of smoke coming from it, but now you're actually able to see the foot of it just as night is starting to fall. You can see several rivets of lava pouring from the sides of the mountain, and then you can just see sort of almost crammed in the middle of the lower part, a castle that is obsidian black, almost.
would this be the same castle we had heard of being near the monastery?
You're not.
It is a monastery.
The castle was converted to a monastery, you were told.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you guys do?
Does it look like the castle's being like manned by anyone right now?
Going by the 18 that Trofnar rolled, yeah, you can see several guards there.
Okay.
They're
Then
all
we
they're all
should go ahead
dragonborn
and
from
just
what
head
you can
out.
tell.
Yeah. We should go ahead and head up there.
All right. So you.
Which one's the most muscly?
They're all pretty ripped.
Yeah, we're like the fucking cast of Predator over here.
So you sort of approach. You the pathway to the actual like entrance is too narrow for the cart, so you do have to leave the cart and horses where they are.
Okay. They'll be fine. They're magical.
Yeah, and even then, they're when I say like the distance at this point, it's only about 30 feet. It's just that
Magic animals still feel pain.
it's just that the sort of like the rock being like dipped down in a few areas, and it's almost like a it's almost like the College of Winterhold in Skyrim, where the bridge is sort of just precariously over this one bit. Except it's just like steep drops downwards. You can see sort of a little bit further down, like a few pools of magma that is like slowly cooling. But eventually, you cross over the bridge. As you sort of approach, the four Dragonborn sort of like close ranks a bit. The two that are closest, like the middle of the door, like cross over their glaives to sort of like block entry, and they just stare at you.
Hello, I'm... Nemesis will take out the letter that Oja gave her. I'm supposed to deliver something.
The furthest Dragonborn from you, so like reaches forward and just plucks the letter out of your grasp. So like leans against the wall as he just like reads it. So rolls it up, elbows one of the closer ones. I've got like the spear sorted and just like nods. It's just like a few nods here and there before they sort of like step back a bit and move like the glaives out of the way, allowing you to pass.
Thank you. Can I get my letter back?
Dragonborn just sort of like the Dragonborn that's got the letter just so like shoulders. He, unlike the other one, he's got like a broadsword. He just like shoulders it and just sort of like pushes open the door, indicating for you to walk, for you all to walk in.
Use some rude
Okay.
ones.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, just walk in.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'll proceed as well.
All right. So you all walk in. As the last you comes through, the Dragonborn himself follows afterwards, closing the door behind him. You're in a large marble room. Like, there's marble pillars. The floor itself is a nice sort of like clean, what's it called? I'm not going with my stone here.
Mahogany.
It's like,
Wait, what?
It's again, it's almost like an obsidian, but it's not. It's sort of like similar kind. I don't want to say black marble, but it's kind of like black marble.
Is it like granite or basalt or something?
Yeah, basalt. That was it.
Basalt, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, except it's clearly like it's been like smoothed over greatly. As you sort of like walk, continue walking, the Dragonborn sort of like walks past you, gives an indication to halt before he sort of like places his sword down. So you can see at this point there's a large sort of like gong almost. He sort of like just places the sword down, reads a letter again, And then you just watch as he doesn't even grab anything to hit, just smashes it with his hand. It just gives a pauses, hits it twice again, and eventually you hear several footsteps as you see several robed dragonborn. I can actually use one of my temple tracks now. Yay! Because you're in a temple, technically. So several dragonborn, they're either wearing platinum-colored robes or a mixture of chromatic colors. As several of them come down, there's about 4 of them in total that you can see. They start speaking, whispering something which you can't tell from this distance. And he watches the dragonborn that had followed you in, hands the letter off to one of them. So he just gives a weird sort of hand motion before heading back towards you lot, walking past you and exiting the door. You watch as these 4 dragonborn sort of converge around each other and look at the letter before one of them sort of walks towards you all, gives a small bow and takes the robe off, revealing a gold dragonborn.
Is he wearing anything under the robe?
He's just taking his hood
He's a
off.
dragon.
He just took his. I don't know what you're thinking here, but he just took his robe. He just took the hood part of the robe off. He didn't say Yakuza style.
Oh, that's what you meant. You said he takes his robe off and he's a gold dragonborn. So I was expecting a full
I did the motion. I did the motion of that taking the hood off.
Sorry, I can't see your picture. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, am I talking for you? Fine.
No. It's because my computer does it sometimes. There you go. Hello, mate.
Hello. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I was thinking that he literally just took off the robe and started like some sort of muscle cleric.
Yeah, what's up? We're secretly nudists. What about it?
Yeah, so he's just greetings. Welcome to the Order of Dragons. I believe that you seek an audience with us.
Yes, that is correct. Me specifically.
I see. Just stares at you.
I have a bit of a problem, and Nem will show her hand.
You to reach forward and grabs your hand, and he's got a very strong grip. You're kind of taken aback because he is shorter than you.
Yeah.
But he's
oh.
But it jerks you forward a little bit. And he's like, So taps a stone a few times. I see. So lets go of your hand.
It's a Hajar stone.
The tool of the dead. Orja says that you wish for our assistance with this Hajar stone.
That's correct. He believes that I might be cursed.
So it looks at your hand again. I can indeed feel a dark magic radiating from it.
Okay, is there... What specifically? I wasn't sure the kind of effect that it would have on me.
So looks back at the 3 of the Dragonborn that are still you see they're still discussing with the note and such. We will have to identify exactly what it will do, if you are willing.
Yes, of course.
Very well. He takes your hand again and almost half drags you towards the other Dragonborn.
I have feet.
I'm aware.
Apparently, I'm just not moving fast enough for his liking.
And so he sort of like drags you up to the other ones who they also take off the hood part of their robe, indicating a silver dragonborn and 2 blue dragonborn. He sort of like speaks to them in Draconic. There's a little bit of back and forth between them all before eventually the one of the blue ones just shrugs. Says, "Right, very well. This will take some time. Your companions are free to rest in one of our rooms," indicates to several of the doors that now at this point have been opened up. You can see like a few other Dragonborn had came out, but at the mention of this, they sort of like stand up straight, straight to attention.
That's right. Everyone else, get the fuck out.
They are free to stay. They are free to stay if they wish, but this will take several minutes.
Thank you kindly. I'm guessing we're restricted to that room, eh?
You are restricted to the rooms in this hallway. You are not of our order, and thus you are not allowed access.
Of course, I understand. We won't be any trouble, don't worry.
I would hope not.
And I will sort of head towards the rooms I indicated towards.
Okay. The rooms themselves they're rather Spartan in their appearance. You know, like wooden chairs and such, but it's, you know, in comparison, it's better than just standing around in a hallway waiting. So, as the rest of your group spend time just, you know, relaxing and such, the 4 Dragonborn begin to start casting a ritual of sorts. Again, because you don't speak Draconic, you can't understand a word that they're saying.
Woo!
But you see them sort of like scatter incense around your hand and such. They make sure that your hand like stays on the table, and as you kind of move it, the golden dragon like grabs your wrist and forcefully like puts it back. Says, "No, you keep it there." You see him place like several ivory strips down, like between the gaps in your hands and such. And eventually, like, you watch as the incense sort of like starts to smolder and burn as they finish the spell. At this point, you watch as like the Silver Dragonborn was the one that was sort of like leading it. You watch as he sort of like his lips sort of like thin slightly, and he sort of like whispers something to the other to the 2 blue Dragonborn.
That's not good.
Who in turn, begin one of them begins like writing down a piece of parchment before passing it to the gold Dragonborn, who looks at it.
Today, class, we're learning about amputation.
He takes another piece and begins writing it down in common. He holds the sheet and says, like, "Before I give you this, you need to understand that this is what we speculate. But based on the ritual that it has, woe be to the holder of this stone, whom is not of the blood of the gem. For they seek that of the dead, they shall instead become it." He hands you... It has that, but it also has extra bits, so I'm just going to update what is written on the Hajar stone from the GM notes so you can see what the curse is.
So fun. So excited.
So I'll give you a minute or two to read that.
Fuck, I get double fucked. Holy shit.
That bad?
It'll be down to her if she mentions it. Or if you guys see the video, or it can be something that's spoken about post session.
Is there any way to remove it?
Of course, we can remove it, either through brute force or through another ritual.
Right. And how long would that take?
Well, thankfully, from what we have gathered from our ritual there to ascertain the curse, it is a much weaker curse than thankfully it could be. Magic does wane if not constantly refreshed. It should only take a few seconds, though it will be quite excruciating for you.
Huh. And I don't have to lose a limb or something, do I?
No, that is the option that you could take. Or we could simply take a dagger to your hand and pry it out, or we can do a ritual. Or you can keep it in there and suffer what happens to you.
I see. Tom, there's this little section here that says, like, removing the stone causes the holder to take 1d4 X number of weeks. Is that damage?
Yes.
Okay.
It's unaspected damage. So you cannot resist against it.
Okay.
So at this point, because of how long you've had it, it would only be a straight d4 at this point.
No, it would be... It's been 1 week.
Yeah. 7 days. 1d4 times 1 is still...
So it doesn't add. Okay, got it.
No. So, yeah, so
Yep.
it's a d4 up until the second week, and then it starts stacking up.
Oh, God.
I should discuss this with my group for a moment, if you don't mind.
Of course. I shall remain here. Feel free. So, speaks in Draconic, and the three of them just bow, put the hoods back up, and return upwards.
Swear to God, I'm gonna beat you.
What?
No, my cat tried to knock over my water bottle.
I thought you were gonna beat
Which
me.
one?
I thought you were gonna beat me. I'm just saying, wow, you're the one that attuned to it.
Yeah. No, it's my cat. Okay. Then I'm going to try. I'm gonna go to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So some news.
What? Do you get the key to hand? What's going on?
This gem is it's cursed. It's cursed like we thought. But apparently it turns me into an undead.
Right, I'm surprised.
Well, that's not good.
No, that's not. You're underselling it, Delson. That's really fucking bad. I'm surprised your angelness doesn't stop that.
Well, it kind of does to an extent. It basically what would happen is it would kind of fry my divinity.
It'll corrupt you.
Essentially, I would be undead and fallen.
Well, that doesn't sound exactly fun, does it?
I'm not sure if that would stop the effect of me turning into I don't think it would stop me from dying, though.
It probably wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't be that
So-
nice.
Essentially, my options are to either keep it and watch what happens, or remove it. And the ways of removal are not fun.
What are they?
Well, they could go cut my hand open and pry it out. They could cut off my hand, or they could do this ritual that they have told me will still be excruciating.
It might be best to. It might be best to definitely get this ritual done, and then possibly pry it out of your hand if it's still in there.
But if there's a chance the ritual isn't going to work, doesn't it just make more sense for her to go through the stabbing pain and then heal?
It depends. It could... I don't know how familiar you are with anatomy and everything, but it could cut through my tendons, my nerves, and even if I keep my hand, could make it unusable.
That is true.
Of course, granted. I think I'd rather be a cripple than dead.
Yes, that does sound like a better option.
That is not the time to say that.
Again, we should first try the ritual.
I agree. What?
Oh, just, I have already seen Tom's text and everything, and I know it's gonna happen.
As I said, we'll see if it's explained or not after the session.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
I think the worst
stone.
I think the worst thing that could happen is if that stays in there and you become the shambling, God knows what. But
Yeah.
we gotta somehow. I like try and save the hand. Go for the ritual and then see what happens. That's what I do. I'm sorry, lass.
Right. I have a feeling that either way, I'm going to lose my hand.
It's better than losing your mind and your soul. Is that better?
Right. You're right. Okay. I'm going to get it removed. I don't know how long it will take, though.
Do you want me to stay with you for that?
No.
Should I come along? That way I can understand what's being said, maybe?
I don't want people there if I'm going to be in an uncomfortable state.
And it might be nicer for her to not know exactly what's going on. It might freak her out.
I think I'm already freaked out.
That is fair. That's fair enough. Right? That'll be
Understood then.
All right. Wish me luck.
We'll be praying for you. You're strong, Em. Incredibly strong. You can do this.
You believe in you.
Nem just shakes her head and we'll go back out.
Okay.
Tom,
Yes.
can I try to sneak follow?
Make a stealth check. 17. Unfortunately, these guys are monks.
No! I'm just trying to hide from Nemesis. I don't care if they see me.
All monks in D&D are like Eastern style Shaolin monks, not like Western style monks.
Yeah, so you sort of like Well, you walk by. The Dragonborn that's sort of like there just notices you but doesn't stop you.
Just gonna
Doesn't
glare
notice.
at him and shake my head and just continue to go with.
Yeah, I'll meet up with the gold dragonborn again.
Okay. He's now accompanied by one of the blue Dragonborns again. So, like, looks to you, he's like, have you made your decision?
Yes, I want that removed. Hold on. My nail vinyls came. Sorry. I will go through with the ritual, and if that doesn't work, I'm ready for more extreme measures.
The ritual in question will involve some force, however, it should make it a shorter period. In short, and sort of like looks over, that oh, you know, his passive perception would spot fortune. I do not know if your companion here would be willing to hear this, but
What? No, just turns to look at her.
Hi, honey.
Go now.
No, I'm not leaving you.
This isn't some noble thing. I don't want you here.
Fine.
Thank you.
Just walking away now.
okay. Very well. We shall give you some privacy this way, and indicates to one of the doors. There's one closed, but he just opens it up. Inside is a dim room. You can see there's. It's also a cramped room as well. There is there's a small like brazier
Mm-hmm.
to with like it looks like it's some sort of like liquid underneath. It's like a visceral black liquid. But as he sort of like approaches, the blue dragonborn also enters and closes the door as well. Right. Removing this is going to be akin to removing a splinter, but a lot worse. You've had splinters, yes?
Yes.
The plan is that we will cast a ritual to weaken the hold of it, enough that I am able to grab a hold of it and simply rip it out. How long has that been attached How long has that been attached to your hand?
About a week and a couple of days.
Then you are fortunate. Should it have fused more with your hand, we could have had some permanent damage there.
You're saying that ripping something out of my hand won't cause permanent damage?
We are an order that is trained for combat as well. We are aware of broken bones, and we shall heal whatever damage we cause. At the most, you may feel a bit weaker in that hand for a few days while your muscles recover, as it has essentially replaced those muscles to fit itself.
That's horrible. That's fucking awful. Holy shit. Like, you don't just regenerate muscles in a few days. That's fucked. That's gone. Oh.
I like to think Nemesis is also somewhat acting like this.
Although
our brains are connected right now. Like, just basic anatomy, that muscle is fucked up.
There are no muscles
He
in the
is
hand.
clearly understating what is about to happen.
Thankfully, as I say, because of how recent it is, it hasn't replaced much of your muscle. From what the ritual goes with, it will literally slowly move its way inward until it fuses with the bone itself. That is when you have a major problem.
I suppose some muscle missing is better than bone.
Well, once we remove it, we will also cast a spell to help regenerate such muscle. As I say, you may have a couple of days where you're a bit weaker in that hand, but you should make a full recovery.
All right. Yes, it's going to be more painful in the moment, but everything will be fine.
Yes. Place your hand, palm downwards, over the brazier.
Gonna have to fucking strap her. Alright.
Give
Yep.
her some wood to bite on.
I'm gonna put my hand down.
Do not be alarmed, this is just to ensure that you do not thrash it out and hurt yourself. He speaks Draconic to the blue dragonborn, who sort of slowly walks up to you and just essentially bear hugs you, keeping you held in place. Right. So puts his one hand over the top of your hand, and you sort of feel the claws, not till enough to draw blood, but dig partly into the palm of your hand. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. He does an incantation. You sort of feel the stone shift slightly before you feel a sharp piercing pain as the claws dig in, and he pulls out the stone. You take 4 points of damage from that.
Woo, 4 points.
Max damage.
And you sort of hear a doop, doop, and a dull thud from the brazen. He's sort of he's still holding on to the top of your hand. He just flips it over. You can see a near perfect diamond shaped hole in your hand. He places his other hand over and begins talking. I need to see how long this spell lasts, because I don't know all the spells off the top of me head. There we go.
My trichophilia.
Yeah.
I know, right? Also,
at this point as well, the blue dragonborn, as the gold dragonborn starts the starts the spell, he releases his grip from you.
Also, I didn't realize that in a lot of ways some of the big cleric classes are basically just magical doctors.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, they're fucking clerics.
Yep.
I'm surprised that Nem's body did not have more to say about getting a cursed stone ripped out.
I mean, Nem did thrash about, but as you can you can't really tell too much. But judging by how hard the blue dragonborn was holding on to you, these are these are clearly clerics that have put a lot of points into their strength stats.
Actually,
Muscle
am I
cleric.
bleeding right now?
You are bleeding, but you can't touch your hand because he's got your hand clasped in both of his. You feel a burning feeling coming from not from your skin, but the inside of your hands. And after about a minute, he releases his hands off you. The cut's still there, but your hand feels a bit better now.
So, how much blood is out? Am I bloody? Is he bloody?
His hands are covered in blood, and you can see the black liquids has got little bits of blood around. You just watch to see
how does the black liquid? How is that affected?
It doesn't appear to be affected at all. Oh, hey, that's
okay.
That's playing that.
My blood doesn't do anything crazy.
Doesn't appear to.
Oh, okay.
I know 2 people know exactly what major track this is.
I recommend washing your hands and getting that stuff out.
He's already got a few bandages and such, and before he even bothers with his own, he starts wrapping your hand in bandages.
Thank you.
Be careful, she has ligma.
So looks at his own hand and such. We have dealt with your kind's blood before.
Well, good. I don't know what kind of effect it can have, so...
It has none. I can assure you.
I'm not sure. The last time I gave someone my blood, it burned them badly.
When was that?
The hag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, she's an evil creature, so.
Yeah, he does.
At least
he
we
does,
know these
He
dragons
does
are
get
cool.
some cloth though, and does like wipe his hands clean before he.
Just kind of like feel my hand a little bit.
It is
It's such a-
sore. And
Which is a
you
boo-boo.
watch as the gold dragonborn reaches down, pulls out a sort of like a jar almost, and just scoops up some of the liquid. You hear a scraping noise before he pulls it up, and then begins to pour liquid out again until there's just a small bit of liquid below it, but you can see, still covered in your blood, the Hajar stone.
I'm not sure if it was in Ocha's letter, but he requested that stone if you managed to remove it.
If you do not wish to have the stone back, then we are certainly happy to give it to Orja.
Yes, please. I'd like to keep my word.
Very well. Pass it over to the blue dragonborn, who quickly runs off. And with that, I believe our business is done.
Yes, thank you.
You and your friends are free to spend the night in that room. However, I would ask that you leave as soon as you possibly can afterwards.
Yes, that's fine. Alright. For fuck's sake, Quinn, leave my water bottle alone.
Water.
She acts like she doesn't have a dish. She's just spoiled.
Water.
I would like
and-
water. In a
Yeah,
swimming pool,
Nem will
please.
go ahead and go out and go back to the group.
Okay. The gold dragonborn sort of he just puts his hood back on and goes back up the stairs, but not before talking to another one of the dragonborns that's just there, who just gives a curt nod.
Hello, everyone. I'm not dead.
Oh, thank Morgan.
Well, that's always good.
How you feeling? How's your hand?
Oh,
Is it-
in so much pain.
I think you still got it at least. That's the result.
Yes, I have it, though some of the muscle is missing. It'll take a while to heal properly.
Looking at
Right.
it, you're pretty heavily bandaged on the hand, but you can already see there's some blood that is seeping through a bit. Not to the
How long
point where
does
it's
it
a
take?
cause of concern, but it's you can't hide the fact that you're bleeding.
Yeah,
you say
there's
how
no
long
way
until
that I
you-
can sew this up either.
I wouldn't risk it. How long until you're back to the full axe swinging ways? Weeks,
He-
months?
He said a couple of days, but considering he also said that there was some muscle missing, I'm aware that that's not quite reasonable. Magic aside, it's muscle. It takes time to heal, regenerate, and I'll frankly have to retrain it, get it
There's
stronger.
only so much magic can do with a body, aye.
It's essentially, even if they were to bring some of the muscle back, it's weak. I'm sure you're aware how heavy Warhammer is, especially to swing around all the time.
Aye. Have you got a smaller one? A smaller weapon you could use?
I have my Morning Star. It's fine. I can fight with my other hand. It's just it'll be a challenge. I'll have to be retraining.
If you need help with that, just ask me anytime.
Right. Thank you. They said that we can stay the night, but we should leave first thing in the morning.
Aye.
It's
Did
understood.
Did they say if we're allowed in their eating hall? I'm kind of hungry.
I have no idea. They said that you were allowed in the rooms in this hallway. So, hopefully there's a cafeteria there. I'm just going to stay here. I think, I don't want to bleed all over the place.
No, you got.
That's
I'm guessing your blood can do all sorts of crazy shit. I'm guessing. If you're wary like that.
And I know none of it. All I know is I don't want it to spread around.
Aye.
that's definitely fair enough.
It really is a shame that your guide works for the god of taking the fucking piss, isn't it?
I mean, I was told that Stalin was an option.
And he's what, the god of piss taking?
He's the god of trickery, jokes, you know?
I'd ask why you have a god of that, but then I remember we've got a god of fucking hangovers, so fair enough. Alright. Well, it's good to see you okay, Nem. We were worried.
Yes,
Right.
I can tell, especially since Katie decided to follow me.
What's my passive perception like these days?
It's usually 10.
I want to see if I even noticed she was gone.
It's in your sheet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
It's
Right
typically
above
11.
proficiencies.
It's 11, my passive perception.
Then
Do you think
yes.
I would have noticed you were gone, Katie?
well, no, because
I
you-
rolled 17.
Like if someone's stealthing and someone's not
Wouldn't
actively
even
looking,
notice.
they go by the passive perception. You
Okay.
probably would have seen her when she came back in, but you never would have seen her left.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna go. Wait, what fuck's? Is she? Where is she? Is she back in?
Nem will look around and see.
I would like to be on the ceiling.
Kate?
Oh God! Can you get fucking down from there? For fuck's... You're in a fucking holy site.
You haven't seen me this entire time.
Oddly, I've been preoccupied, and you're a sneaky little fucker, you are. It's not that hard.
Oh, I'm sorry,
mean-
Rotnar. It's so hard for everybody else to go clank, 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 clank every time they take a step.
She's just upset that I kicked her out.
Look. Think about where we are. Like the last religious order I was with, they would have thrown you in that volcano for doing that.
Tom, what would I roll to try and catch good berries that Gracian's throwing at me?
A dexterity check.
Gratian,
I'd
I
say
hope you
you get that.
enjoyed. Gratian, I hope you enjoyed the good berry smoothie I put in the general chat. Well, at least you haven't come back a shambling husk, eh? Right. Oh, who's gone?
Oh,
Beast.
Beast did.
Beasington Bear. Okay. Right. Let's get you. All right. What you need, lass, is a bit of rest. Let's get you all in bed. All right.
Right. Can I have one of those, Gratian? Fantastic. Thanks.
And I gave her one. What?
Go ahead and eat my fucking good berry and then lay the fuck down.
Yeah.
If I manage to get into the kitchens or the cafeteria or the mess hall, whatever it is, do you want me to get you on?
Yeah, let's not make hand jokes.
Yeah.
I'll hand. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Can I get one of those good berries too?
Let me see how generous the cooks here are, and then I may take you up on that good berry.
Okay, so you go out and start sort of like asking around. Interesting thing about the Dragonborn that you meet, like the ones that are actually like armed and such, they don't talk.
Huh.
Can they point? Can they use gesture?
Yeah, like when you sort of like indicate like where they can go to eat, you see like one of them, a green Dragonborn, sort of like just point over to one of the far doors that's open.
I'll just give him a silent little nod and a thumbs up. If that do thumbs up exist in this one? Never mind.
You have thumbs, of course they do.
But it hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah. Just saying that thumbs exist, which means thumbs up must exist, and not exclusive.
The concept of thumbs up has existed since the Roman times at the least in the real world. I'm pretty sure that they would allocate that.
But the sound of like sticking your thumb up at someone would mean like, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. Okay. Whatever. I was wondering.
Awesome. Look at that, we got some world lore.
Remember, this is this is based off medieval times, and the whole thumbs up positive, thumbs down negative. Like if you were to correlate it to real world, predates that by about 1,000 years.
That is true, actually. Yeah. I need to look into history of the thumbs up. It could be quite interesting. Anyway, I will proceed to head towards that open door he pointed towards.
Okay. It does appear to be a small mess hall, specifically for visitors. Because as you sort of look over, there's sort of like a large window of sorts where you can see in a little bit further in. It appears that it has the only room that is exclusive to the Order that you can actually look into. As you can see, a large mess hall with tens of Dragonborn just quietly eating. A few of them are making quiet conversation. And as you sort of like stand near the counter and such, you see another Dragonborn, a white Dragonborn, sort of like walk around the side of the wall to your side and sort of like leans over looking at you.
Evening. What are you serving?
We serve a group of vegetables and meats. Dried meats.
Sorry?
Her voice, Fortune, but yes.
Let's go. I'll take a plate of whatever's going.
Very well, Outlander. And just sort of leaves and comes back a few minutes later with a plate full of like. To give you an idea, think of it like how Spartans live, almost like that.
Oh, okay. Lifestyle. So it's basically just like. So it would just be like random vegetables and then like a massive thing of like just like fire cooked steak with nothing on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just hands you the plate.
That'll do. And I go, you got any cutlery? Knives, forks?
So like just raises her clawed hands.
Already got him. Thanks, lass. And Thank you very much. I'll bring back the plate in a bit, and I will walk off back into the room where we were staying.
Okay.
And then I'll sit down on one of the chairs in the room, and then, with my hands to start eating the vegetables and like ripping up the meat and eating it and stuff.
Yeah, it's bland. There's clearly no like seasoning or anything.
No,
it fills you up.
Something about a monastery kitchen did make me think they'd use like herbs and spices.
You get the feeling that they probably don't exist a whole lot at the bottom of an active volcano.
No.
Yeah, where would you find 11 herbs and spices out of
That's volcano? The thing. Well, exactly. Yeah, of course. And I'll just tuck and say, it's not bad. With a bit of salt, a bit of seasoning, that's alright. And I'll just go, because I guess it is Nem in bed.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, Nem's in bed. Trying to make sure that she doesn't bleed more.
Hey, lass, the kitchen's doing a bit of meat and veg. You fancy a bit?
Can you bring it here?
I'll bring her the plate of the food, and I'll show her. So it's basically just like, yeah, it's like basically just like a big side of beef, and then like random vegetables. Yeah,
Nem takes the meat.
all of it.
She takes the meat and nothing else.
At this point, the bleeding in your hand has stopped, or at least it feels like it starts to clot and such. But the bandage does have, like, you can see quite a bit of blood that seeped through.
Thank you, platelets.
And then
So
yeah, then sort of Trostnar at that just has a sigh and a sort of like a wry smile and just walks back. I can't bollocks her. She's currently in bed recovering. It's not.
Yeah. Who
So
cares if I'm picky about my food? I'm a patient.
Alright. So, as you all relax the best you can in this bare bones monastery, dodging a potentially serious bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to call it for this session, because we only got like 20 minutes left, and it's like, what can we cover in 20 minutes? Yeah, no, the Hajar Stone is pretty nasty.
Yeah, so fill us in. What would it do to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are attuned to the Hajar Stone and you are not a blood descendant of whoever the stone belongs to, the stone binds to them and cannot be removed. As time goes on, the creature slowly transforms into an undead, depending on how long the stone is bound to them. One day, creature is unable to sleep, but also unable to gain exhaustion. 100 days, the creature's flesh begins to rot. Creatures is considered undead, but retains previous race traits. If the race is Asimar, they become fallen. Paladins become oathbreakers.
Fuck.
200 days. Creature loses 1 int every 50 days until either 1,000...
One what? Sorry, every 50 days?
1 int.
1 intelligence.
Oh, 1 intelligence.
Smart.
Okay. Oh, because like, your mind's melting. Yeah.
Yeah. Every 50 days until either 1,000 days, or the creature hits 0 int, in which the creature dies and becomes a zombie. After 1,000 days, the creature dies and rises as a zombie.
And only the witch spell will be able to bring them back at that point. That's one that I didn't mention.
Fuck.
Removing the curse requires moving the stone by force or removing the appendage it is bound to. Removing the stone causes the holder to take 1d4 X number of weeks. They've been attuned to the stone as it fuses further with the creature.
Fun.
It's a nasty bit of custom thing, but I'm just there like, you know what? I've only had one cursed item exist. I need to make enough one. I need to make this one like really mean something.